Liverpool, I live in vestry, sacred memories from ancestry. We the congregation of many races, aliens, others from far off places. I've got Caribbean from my dad's side, Scottish and English from my mum's side, maybe even Jewish, and who knows what. We're all seeds from the world in a diverse plot. An alienism from outer space and doesn't necessarily have a different face, just a person arriving from a different place to discover. The locals treat them as the other. Can you imagine what it felt like to be the other? Arriving here feeling like you don't belong. Well, I was born here and I was treated as an outsider. For that very reason, when I was 5, we moved from Bootle in the north end to Toxteth in the south end, where I didn't stand out so much. Still, in any other part of the city, I always felt like the other. Oi, what you doing round here? I can tell just by looking at you that you don't belong. Cough now before you get up black. March with me as I turn back the clock and explore the city that grew from a dock. Throughout history we'll witness and discover most of us at some point were treated as the other.
Romanism has bred poverty and ignorance and priestcraft.
Orange and green just like black and white. Walk down the wrong street, expect a fight. Protestants are Catholic, pay with your life. They'll beat the drum slow and lowly, play the fife. 1909 sectarian conflict turned into 4 days of full-scale riot. Government panicked, how long will it last? Is Liverpool gonna be another Belfast? Neighbour for neighbour, brother for brother, Catholic and Protestant, you were the other. Sectarian violence peaked in 1909, but it started 90 years earlier with Liverpool's first Orange March. A march instigated by a group of Tories and aristocrats from Manchester. Their ulterior motive was to target Catholics as the other. It worked like simple mathematics. You were a patriot just because you hated Catholics. Catholics owed their allegiance to Rome, so outside Rome, could they ever be at home? You didn't have to be all out devout. No popery was what they used to shout. Find a common enemy, spread out. Orange v green keeps the reds out. More cultural than truly religious. Sectarian prejudice pushed by the elite. Split the workforce and make them compete. Fuel the infighting, mission complete.
Anything green would go, oh, go out shaking it because, you know, because you used to get battered, but it'd be drunks both sides. People would come out of the pubs and that's what it would happen.
Potato, where have you gone? You've emptied our bellies and stolen the sun. Potato, potato, why so sad? As if because the landlord are treating us bad. Potato, potato, we're going on a trip. We're off to Liverpool on a coffin ship.
A tidal wave of destitution and disease flooded the dock daily with Irish Catholics in search of famine relief. Fear of the Irish plague and resentment at the cost only added more fuel to the sectarian conflict.
We had Indian crew, Chinese, Africans, you know, ourselves, you know, white British, but they were all Scousers.
The empire uses the age-old tool, divide and rule. Indian Lascars, Americans, Jews, coming to Liverpool, divide and rule. Gateway to empire from C of E down. Keep them in their places in Sailor Town, nail them all down, keep them in place with social illusions, religion and race. Chinese, Africans, Arabs too, keep them in place, divide and rule. Europeans, Caribbeans, lock down the zoo and divert the blame, divide and rule.
I used to speak to them in Yiddish. They all came from Russia and Poland, all Jews.
By 1900, Liverpool's waterfront really was the world in one city, a cosmopolitan community home to many a race and faith. But the status of the local Jewish community was threatened by an influx of Eastern European Jews. Their otherness attracted undue attention. At the same time, Islam started to thrive.
Abdullah Quilliam changed his name to Abdullah from William. Without him, Liverpool Muslims were lost. In 1889, he opened the first mosque. Bang go the guns of the First World War. Xenophobia on the step of your front door. Orange and green still seen as a sin, but now the worst sin, colour of skin. You treat me like an alien. You treat me like an alien. You treat me like an alien. Stop treating me like an alien. Feel that. Like an alien. Feel that. Like an alien. Feel that. I am a man of Britain. I came when I was needed. But once they'd used me for their war, my progress was impeded. You're stealing all our jobs, they cried. My family needs to eat. You've taken the bread from our tables and the shoes from our cold feet. So now I'm running for my life from bricks and knives and hatred. In thousands through the streets they come, all blacks are being baited. I'm running and I can't escape. They celebrate my death as I go down into the murky dark and take my final breath. The ultimate fate of the other.
The boy drowned in the dock. And that boy was an ex-serviceman, just home, who was driven into the water. The officers involved who lined the banks had hit him on the hands. The boy drowned in the dock. But they weren't aliens, seeing they'd take their passports off them, and then at a minute's notice they'd been deported back to West Africa.
Peace and race of border. Restrict rights to work, implement police controls.
In defiance of the new colour bar and institutional racism, mixed marriages between coloured seamen and local white women, especially Liverpool-born Irish, grew more common.
Accused of prostitution just because they fell in love and of contaminating racial purity and British blood with so-called half-caste kids, the white mother now plays the other. 1928 Catholics declared assimilation the new buzzword. Faith-based politics fading at last. A farewell jig to the ways of the past. Labour parties suffer the divide. Braddock brand socialism on one side, Catholic crew conspiring on the other side. Protestant conservatives given a free ride.
Meanwhile, Liverpool-born Jews married with the Eastern European Jews and so avoided the prospect of them becoming the other.
World War II, nothing was new. The mother country knew just what to do. Call on the colonies, ask for their aid. Once it's all over, hope they all fade.
War is in the air, all West Indians will do their share. That is why they came, and not seeking glory or fame. They will fight for victory, let us raise a cheer.
We were behind England 100%.
But they didn't fade. Community-based groups like the Colonial People's Defence Organisation sprang up. People fought back and became part of a wider post-colonial struggle.
Docklands, north and south flattened out. Ethnic communities moved out in the 50s. Finally, the council's labour socialism over sectarianism wins favour. The Jewish community integrates. Skin colour based racism elevates. Please stop and search just on suspicion. A law providing a mask for racism. Community activists raise voices, fighting for equality, freedom and choices. Residents of Toxteth soon respond. Riot, rebellion, 81.
Riots are the language of the unheard, the language of the unheard.
I backed the rioters. I didn't back rioting. I knew they had no other option.
Hope Street, a cathedral at either end. Hope Street, orange and green can be friends. Archbishop Warlock and Bishop Shepherd brought hope in 1982 with a visit from the Pope.
Bishop David Shepherd has worked hard with the Catholic Archbishop Warlock to forge a special bond between their two churches in Liverpool. It was like nothing ever seen in this great cathedral.
Finally, there is light where our histories clash. After 200 years gone in a flash.
These days, we celebrate migrant communities we once saw as alien and take race-hate crimes very seriously. But new migrant groups still face the same old dilemma. How do you strike the balance between retaining your original identity and fitting into a new community? Or, to put it another way, how long does it take before we call them us?
The other could be you, the other could be me. You never really know who the other's gonna be. With war and oppression and fear, and people fleeing here, who will the other be next year? Nevertheless, the prejudice goes on. The struggle continues, the battle isn't won. We mock the migrant, trouble the newcomer. A child without a mother, isolated the other.
Policy cannot be to disinherit them, show them the law, get rid of that law. Every single human being is worth something.
Like an Indian.